Hello, hello. On today's show, I'm going to talk about a lot of Guardians. Mike is going to reveal the first combatants in Cover Combat 2. And Patrick asks, is Faux retro the way to go? Welcome to your favorite live streaming whatnotting podcast, Comics and Collectibles in the Crawl Space. As usual, I am your fourth or fifth favorite podcaster, your host, Kevin. I actually have someone in the room with me today. You want to say, hey, Mike?
Hey, everybody, give me 1 minute here. I'm playing Marvel Snap. Everybody should play this game.
All right, stop wrecking the show.
All right. Go ahead, Patrick. Talk amongst yourselves.
Hey, you want to say, hey, Patrick?
Hi, everybody. I'm not playing Marvel Snap currently, but I have played it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that is good to hear. I can't wait to hear more later. No? All right, so first thing we want to do is the profits. Get that set up. Here we go. All right, still the same lady. She still gets it.
All right. Here are the covers for 10 books coming out this Wednesday, December 7th. The Xcellar group and our families have selected our top 3 favorites. In order for you to win the Profits contest, you must choose the covers that make up our top 3. Post a comment during the live stream of the 3 covers that you've selected. The cutoff time for your submission will be announced at the beginning of the Pick 3 segment. Winners will receive their choice of 1 book from these 10. We'll send it to you free, and we'll even cover the shipping. So head on over to the Facebook page if you want a closer look. Come back here, comment your 3.
Crap, I just realized as I'm vaping, I can't mute my mic now because it'll mute Mike as well.
Oh yeah, I'm catching myself looking at you over the
I'll try to keep it quiet. So anyway, it's so weird for me now to do the intro, or when we first get here and there's no giveaways and everything to cover. It's almost uncomfortable for me. But yeah, so I guess like I said, what do I do now that that's changed?
Yeah, it's like the opening credits aren't necessary anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Jump right into the first scene.
So yeah, let's jump right into a super exciting thing that we are all super excited for. Cover Combat, right?
Yep.
And I know we had 2 weeks to prepare, but it was a lot of pressure for Mike. But he's done an amazing job getting them ready. We thought for a minute it might not happen this week, but Mike pulled through. So I really appreciate that.
I thought for more than a minute that it was.
All right, so Cover Combat 2, and it is about, I keep looking at you, and it is about decades is the theme, and the decade is 2010 to 2019, correct?
That's it.
All right, let's do this. All right, very nice.
Boom. That's right. I'll get rid of that. I just want everybody to see that awesome logo that Patrick worked up. That thing's so cool. That'll be my background for the next 6 weeks.
Oh yeah, once you're in your usual studio.
Yeah, back in the studio.
Yeah. All right, I'm ready though.
All right.
You ready, Pat?
I am ready. This is the most exciting part. I told Mike earlier this week, the reveals.
Yeah.
To see everybody's covers. So
I've had these since Friday. All the matchups done since Friday. I'm like, man, I actually, to be honest, I sat down with Mark because I wanted to show somebody. I'm like, Mark, you want to vote now? Early? And he's like, yeah, I've been waiting forever for this. So he's just as excited. And the greatest thing about this, well, it's a funny thing, so we've got 10 years in the era of variants and second printings and multiple printings and store exclusives and all this. So, and what do we have? 48 total books submitted, and we still had duplicates.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's no way. Yep, there is a way.
That was crazy. I totally wasn't expecting when you told me one of mine, I needed another one. I totally was shocked by that.
Yep.
Did you have to replace one, Pat, or did all yours go through on the first try?
mine were okay.
Okay.
Because we're good. The replacements. Kevin submitted one, and Tyler submitted one.
And you said technically
and
Johnny, right?
Technically, well, Johnny, yeah, because it was actually yours too. Yours and Johnny's were on my list.
Oh no, I had to change one of mine because mine was in actually 2020.
Yeah.
I thought it was 19.
Yeah. And New York Mike had to change one of his because he mistook it for a different book. Because these books are hard to tell. He's like, oh, I thought that was this book, and it wasn't. So he had to. So there were some changes that had to go on.
So again, this is the best comics of that decade that we can come up with in a short period of time.
Right. That we knew about. There are books that were submitted to me. It's like, I've never seen that before. Had I known, I would have put that on my list. So,
how confident are you, Pat?
I don't know. That's the thing when you don't know the competition you're up against.
Yeah.
It's a wait and see.
Okay.
When I picked mine, I'm like, this is a lock for me. I'm assuming to win this. And as I got everybody's books, it's like, oh, I'm not going to do too well. So, all right, let's get to it.
All right.
I know everybody's excited.
Yeah.
So these are 12 matchups this week. Here is number 1. The Amazing Spider-Man number 2 versus Super Sons number 1.
Huh.
These are both variant books. I didn't mark down in my thing here which
cover it is
variants,
specifically.
but most of the time I'll remember. So these are both variants.
Pretty awesome.
Yep. And it's so great because these are all kind of new school versus new school.
Yeah, that's what's so awesome about that, going up with the theme, that everything will match at least this time.
Yeah, the color palettes are all similar. What's available. Number 2, Superman number 10 and Marvel Comics 1000, and that is the Virgin variant with no trade dress.
Nice.
Yep. Yeah, those are great.
Yeah, they're both great for different reasons.
Yeah.
Yep.
And this one, some of these matchups, while they're all of the, like we were just saying, new school, Patrick Gleason I don't think he worked digitally on his, whereas Art Germ works digitally.
Yeah.
Most of those covers. Next up, Saga number 1.
Ooh.
And that is Immortal Hulk 2. That's the 5th printing.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's sick. That Saga's classic.
Yeah. Yeah. Fiona
At this
Staples
point,
does. She does everything. Pencils, inks, colors. She does everything in that book. And I think that's a Del Auto Immortal Hulk. And here we go. Next up, Venom number 1 versus Catwoman 15.
A lot of tongue action.
Yeah. That's true. I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's Ryan Stegman versus Art Germ, his Michelle Pfeiffer variant. I didn't buy that one when it came out. I almost did, but I think that was a tight week for me. Man, I can't spurge.
Yeah, I grabbed all those. And I never even cracked them open one time.
Yeah.
It's just for the covers.
Yeah. All right. Next up, we have Batgirl number 40
Oh, that's cool.
versus Deathstroke number 30. That's where he first.
Purple
So I think
Rain,
that's
oh my.
Francisco Mattina on the right. I don't recall who did the Batgirl cover, but that's when DC did the movie poster variants a few years ago.
That's really cool. I've never seen that. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's
Oh, I forgot if I did.
Purple
Yeah.
Rain.
Yeah.
All right. Avengers number 1. It's McGinnis versus Detective Comics 880, and that's by Jock.
Yeah. This, it's not only comics or covers you've never seen before, but it's also ones you just weren't in your,
Mm-hmm.
you weren't thinking about that
Yep.
could be falling in that decade. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, there were there were a ton, and as you guys are seeing these, you're gonna say, "Yep, I probably would have picked that, but forgot about it."
Yeah.
That's what's so hard. I actually wanted to do some research and try to see how many books were published in that 10-year period.
Yeah.
Say, out of 36,000 books, we picked these 48.
Yeah.
All right, here we go with Thor number 1 versus Star Wars number 1. That's a variant.
Awesome.
Yeah. 2 different art styles there. Venom number 7 versus Action Comics 974. I think it's Clayton Crane on the left and Gary Frank on the Action Comics. Which
Rest in peace, Action. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not trying to throw out predictions right now.
when that Action came out, I loved it so much, and the Batmobile really. It's like, oh look, it's Jonathan Kent's toy, and how fitting that it's the Batmobile.
Oh yeah. Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah,
Yep,
that
that's
was cool.
awesome.
And I think the Clayton Crane, I think that was an incentive variant or something like that. All right, here we go. Next up, Daredevil number 26 versus Old Man Logan 31.
Oh man.
It's Samney on the Daredevil. I don't recall who did the Old Man Logan. I have all the information on different pieces of paper.
That's great. I've never seen that Old Man Logan.
Yeah, I think those are both A covers. And this is
an A cover?
Yeah. This is a great matchup because they're very, Chris Samney has a very distinct style.
Mm-hmm.
And you have the people that really like, and Marcus has already looked at these, and he commented, he said, this looks like a comic book. This looks like a painting.
Yeah.
So it's like some people really prefer comic book style. Some people prefer more realistic.
Yeah. I can't believe that's the A cover because I have all of them. I've never seen that.
I think that was when you were just accepting whatever was in your box.
You
So,
probably put some
yeah.
B cover or
So you
something.
probably you probably have a B cover that is inferior.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Symbiote Spider-Man number 1 by Art Term versus Web of Venom Unleashed number 1. I can't remember. I think that one might be a variant. I think the Web of Venom. I think the Symbiote Spider-Man's a.
It's very interesting how the clashing styles are matching up in this round.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. Next up, we have Catwoman number 14. That is a Art Germ versus Absolute Carnage number 1. And that's probably, I can't remember who did. It's probably Mattina or Del Otto on that one. It's is this right? Yeah, that's actually, unless I put it wrong, that might be Art Germ too. It is. Yeah, I think that's Art Germ. Yeah, versus himself.
Same signatures. A lot of Art Germ going on here, folks.
Yeah. He was definitely the go-to. I think everybody probably had one. And finally, we have BPRD Devil You Know number 5 versus Harley Quinn 61. That's
that is awesome. I've never seen that.
Yeah, So it's Frank
BPRD.
Cho on the Harley.
Which I've seen that actually. I think that was one of the print options at Baltimore Comic Con too.
It might have been, yeah. So Duncan Fegredo, if I'm saying his name correctly, did the BPRD. I like to have next week. I'm going to have the artist written down on there too, because I like to mention the artist as well.
Yeah.
So that's our first round, and these will be posted up on the Xcellar page after the show. I don't know how soon after the show. Right. I'm going to try to. I'll do it before I leave. Before I leave here to go home.
The excitement level is so high.
Well, now you can't wait.
I'm dissatisfied. I want more now. Give me more. But those are.
Yeah.
This is not exactly what I expected. It's so funny. I was expecting more of my frame of thought. And I was thinking because especially I was thinking that because we're so isolated to one decade, and like you're saying with all these variants and everything, I was thinking everyone would be thinking like me. But man, yeah, there's a few I didn't think of, a few I never would have thought of as far as even using, but are great. It's Anyway,
it's fun.
Yeah, I think I'm conflicted about 7 of them. There's only like 2 or 3 that I already had picked before you even took it away.
Yeah, there are some that I'm looking at my submission and then what it's up against. I'm going, whew, I'm going to hate myself because I might have to. I don't want to vote against myself.
Oh, yeah.
But some of these are just so
Yeah,
great.
I tried to have major integrity during Cover Combat 1. I actually voted against myself once.
Yeah, I did too. Yep.
Yeah. So what do you think of this one so far, Pat?
Like I said, a lot of art germ. First
How many art germs there? Huh?
First set of matchups too, and a lot of venoms there also.
You knew it was coming. Be in 2010, 2019.
Yeah, it's like
Can you look at that real quick, Mike? How many art germ were in there? I got 16 books.
I can count them real quickly.
Yeah. Since there's only 16 books, it shouldn't take long.
Oh, just in the first.
Yeah, just in this first, what you just showed today.
Oh, geez, if I can remember. Because I didn't write them down.
Oh, you didn't write down. Oh, okay.
From what I remember, one. I can't remember, but it'll be easier if I can tell you how many were submitted for the whole entire thing.
Really?
Yeah.
That's an easier answer? Okay.
Yeah, because I have them logged right here.
Oh, gotcha.
So it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8.
Oh, God. you had it out the gate there with a head of steam, and then you tape it off. So only 8? Okay, that's not too bad. So I think 6 of them were in those first 16.
Yeah.
So,
that's good.
At least 5 looking at the little images that I'm looking at. Yeah.
Yeah, most of them are right there.
Okay, so that's good. It's not going to be that every week, Pat.
Yeah.
Obviously, we love art germ, but yeah, this isn't an art germ themed Cover Combat.
Right.
Maybe next time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what's surprising is the number of Alex Ross that are in here.
How little?
Yes, I think there might be 1.
Well, I actually looked for a lot of Alex Ross, but everything I was finding wasn't in 2010 to 2019.
Yeah, there's 1.
It was either pre-2010 or most of them were after 2019 that I wanted to use.
Yep. Yeah, it's
he did a long run of Spider-Man in that decade.
Yeah.
And
I not reflect on that. Yeah.
They're not that great. I mean, they're good, but like when he did his Immortal Hulk run, man, almost every one of those were great. But that Amazing Spider-Man stuff, I was like, it just bored me. I mean, they're still great. I don't want to
They're just not cover
But
combat
yeah.
material for you.
Yeah, nothing really stood out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I
good
want a
chunk of
couple-
that Immortal Hulk should have snuck in too. It was eligible, I think. At least the first
Yeah.
half of the run, probably.
Yeah, a few of them were.
Yeah.
Somebody actually did the fifth printing of number 2.
Right. Yeah.
Like Spider-Man on Hulk's shoulder.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Cap and Iron Man. I wanted to use a couple of those, but that's started the end of last year, I think. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, seriously, Artgerm was in here more than anybody else.
That's still amazing that it's only with how many we just saw. It's only 8 out of 48, but that's good to hear. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Awesome.
There we go.
Take a breath. Move into okay. Now I can scroll naturally without having my cover combat revealed to me. Okay, so I'm on deck. Here we go. Okay. I've been trying to keep it a little, you know what, and this isn't geek related, but I'm going to say this. I've been totally addicted to a new comedy that, it's not a new comedy. I just discovered it. Not discovered it. I just finally gave it a shot on my own recently, and I didn't even know it has 6 seasons. So I started watching that, which helped me. I wanted to try to limit what I have on the show so I don't talk for an hour every show. But Superstore, you guys watch that?
Never I saw bits and pieces of it, but never watched the whole episodes.
Oh my gosh, I actually put it on, like I've said many times, I just put it on the background while I'm doing something else. But I got sucked in, and now I'm in season 5. I just been binging it. It's once you get, with any show, once you really get to know the characters and the inside jokes mean things to you, blah blah blah. It's really good. A little bit off topic there, but I like that a lot. So I recommend you two both checking it out as well. All right, so now I'm down here at the bottom. What I actually did watch that's geek related. Oh man, I'm in the middle, even worse. Okay. All right, I got to the final 2 episodes. Again, shout out to New York Mike for making me aware that they existed. We got to the final 2 episodes of Andor, and to start off, I said before, I thought it ended at a good place, and I loved it so much. Where they continued it, I just love it even more. This is, I would say, definitely. I might even. It's at least equal to Mando for my favorite Star Wars show. Definitely, Mando and Andor are my favorite Disney Plus shows in general. But I love this so much, and what it didn't dawn on me until this whole situation happened with me, not realizing there was 2 final episodes. I had thought it ended at, like I said, it ended at a good spot. And then I was thinking when I was going into the end 2 episodes, I'm like, what are they going to do now? You know what? This is 3 shows. That's what or 3 movies might as well be.
Yeah.
Because did you watch it, Pat? Did you?
No, I'm still behind. I think we watched either 5 and 6 or 6 and 7 last night. So we've still got a few more to go.
Okay. Did you watch any of these yet, Mike?
No. We had it queued up. We were getting ready to, but I don't even remember what happened. I think we picked a Christmas movie or something like that instead.
Well, that's the best way I can describe this, is like 3. It's 3 Rogue Ones.
Oh, geez.
That's
good.
Yeah, the first few episodes are build up to a heist, and the heist is a conclusion, and it's awesome. And then the middle part is a build up to a prison break, and the prison break's the finale of that, and it's awesome. And then the finale is what I'm going to call and this is so funny too. I thought at the beginning of the show, I'm like, oh man, we're watching the beginnings of the rebellion here. And obviously, literally, not literally, I don't know exactly how to say it, but I feel like the end was like literal, so it, like I said, it was 3 Rogue Ones wrapped into one. I loved it. I plan on watching it multiple times, and I hope there are many more seasons to come. And there's so many little things in this. Obviously Andor's in it. Mon Mothma is the lady in the white in the middle of the poster there. And we're seeing people that are obviously going to be involved in the rebellion we're familiar with later. I mean, this is so great. Can't get enough of it. I'm going to even give it a better rating than I did not watching the last 2 before. It's just excellent, in my opinion. So everybody make sure you check it out. And then on the flip side of that coin, I watched Willow, also on Disney Plus. Mike, Pat, anybody?
No.
I wasn't super excited for this. I've never been a super Willow fan, although I did like Willow. What was that out in 85 or 86, something like that?
Sounds about right.
Yeah, I think it was around that period.
Obviously, with the little man in the middle there, Willow. I can't remember that actor's name. You remember that actor's name, Pat?
I will in a second.
I just saw
Warwick Davis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just saw an interview. I didn't watch the interview, but yeah, seeing him now, it's like, holy cow, because he's forever been
a tiny guy, yeah.
That age,
yeah.
From back then, because I haven't seen him in much of anything else, so they kind of get frozen in time in your memory, and then you see him now, it's like, whoa, holy cow, he looks way older than what.
Willow, 1988.
1988.
88.
I actually thought he looked. Well, I'm sure you probably agree with this. Obviously you can note he's older, but he looks really good for his age. I mean,
yeah,
he's no spring chicken. Yeah. And so anyway, I wasn't really super excited for this anyway because I wasn't a super Willow fan. But I figured I'd check it out, obviously, for the show, and then maybe it might be something good. And first thing I have to say about it is this is not your 80s Willow. Let me say that to begin with. It is, there's demons and obviously witchcraft and all that in here. And it is serious, for real, creepy, scary stuff. I was telling Mike before the show that the first thing that the bad guys in this show put me in mind of is Hellraiser. Like the first really super creepy Hellraiser, whenever that kind of thing was still fairly a new thing, with how, these demons and everything look all weird and they're just super creepy. That's how they are in this show. And I loved it. It was really cool. How it's actually the end, near the end of the first episode. Willow isn't even actually, I guess, spoiler alert here, but it's not really a spoiler. But it's the opposite of a spoiler, telling you what's not in it. Willow isn't even actually in the first episode. It's kind of like the climax of the first episode where they finally kind of introduce him into the show. But the queen, which I guess was the princess in the TV or in the movie, the lady that Val Kilmer, Mad Mardigan, ended up with, is the focus of the first episode, and her son and daughter. And demons come, and again, a little bit of a spoiler alert. Anybody wants to check out? Pat, how are you into this?
I may end up watching it, but it's okay. Go ahead.
It's real heavy spoilers. I mean, it's nothing super advanced stuff, but basically what ends up in the first episode, these demons come and they take the princess from the movie that's now the queen's son. So the daughter and this, band of heroes they put together have to go save him. And since there's demons and all this supernatural stuff involved, the first thing they have to do in their quest is go find Willow because they need a wizard. So like I said, the demon stuff in this, super creepy, not for kids in my opinion. It was awesome. The demon stuff in general. Then in episode 2, which I think that's all that's out. So I watched everything that's out so far. Nothing happens. It's a whole lot of talking and a whole lot of trying this. It's trying to be the movie. The way I remembered it, it was just very clever, humorous, kind of, they didn't like each other for most of the movie, kind of back and forth, insulting banter back and forth, and they're trying to play that out in the second episode, and I think it fails miserably. I just really didn't enjoy the second episode. And as far as I'm literally saying nothing happens, but I really can't recall anything. I hope I'm not completely 100% mistaken, which wouldn't be the first time. But so overall with this show, where I am so far, it gets a real low mark. The dialogue and the acting just isn't very good, in my opinion. The first episode was redeemed though because of the demons and the battle for. Yeah, sorry. Getting the son of the queen, the demons fighting to get them and everything. That was all good. So I was optimistic, but 2 failed me. So that's where I am currently. Obviously that can change. We'll see. But it's subpar.
I think Ron Howard directed the movie.
Yeah.
And he's a phenomenal director, so it's probably going to be hard to replicate that. I don't know when Mike commented this. It may have been about Rogue One or Rogue One. Andor. I'm assuming that's what he's talking about here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. I think that's kind of what I had heard too.
There's one more season of okay.
Yeah.
And then that should lead right into Rogue One, which that would be awesome.
Yeah, if they do something like they did at the end of Rogue One, where it stops somehow right where it began, that'd be great. What happened at the beginning of Rogue One anyway? The very beginning, the very first scene. Was it where Cassian was meeting up with that guy in the back alley or something?
Oh, it's when they came down when she was little. And she was hiding down.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. We're meeting her father and mother on the planet. Yeah. Anyway, that's a whole different movie. We'll review that in the future.
Yeah. Stay tuned until next year when we review.
Yeah.
Well, just real quickly, Kevin, just so you said Warwick Davis is no spring chicken. So take a guess how old he is.
Okay, so I'm going to guess he was probably at least 10 years older than me. So
Yeah, I was thinking that before I thought about revealing the answer to you. I always assumed he was probably 10 years older. He's our age. He's 52.
Oh, so he was 18 whenever he was in the movie then. That's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, he was a kid when he played an Ewok, basically. He would have been like 13 years old.
Wow. I was going the other way. I was like, oh, he's probably like 32 in Willow. Because I haven't seen it since I think 1988.
Same here.
It's one that I won't. I mean, I liked it when I watched it, but it wasn't one of those that I went back to.
Yeah.
This isn't a spoiler too. I'm glad we kind of stuck on this for another second because just a mention of future things that I'm hopeful for. They do talk about Madigan, whatever, Val Kilmer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They talk about him in this. And it's kind of this controversial thing. They talk about him in 2 different ways. Like, it seems like these people describe what happened to him this way, and these people describe what happened this way, and only one of them can be the truth because they're polar opposites of ways, you know. So it's kind of a mystery. But the fact that they keep, like in the first 2 episodes, they talked about him in both episodes. I'm hopeful, like they did in Top Gun 2. You know, Val Kilmer actually showed up in Top Gun 2. What?
I didn't see that yet.
Oh, spoiler alert, Mike. Sorry. Spoiler alert to everybody.
That's all right. It's been out long enough. I should have seen it.
Well, and it isn't a big like reveal moment. Yeah. It's like, anyway. Sorry about that, real though. So I'm hoping the same thing happens in Willow, where they kind of incorporate him in there somewhere, some way. Because he was obviously my
Top Gun or Maverick kind of spoils Willow then, because now you know that it's possible. Val Kilmer can show up in this because he's still working, even everything he's been through. Right.
Yeah, and the irony of me seeing him in Top Gun 2 was the last thing I saw him in was Val, the documentary of how he's. Did either of you watch that documentary?
I got to see that. I want to.
Yeah. It's pretty interesting. Sad and interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So then the next thing I watched was Guardians of the Galaxy, the holiday special. I know Mike saw this already. Did you see it yet, Pat?
Yes, we did watch it.
That's pretty fun.
Yeah. It was
short and sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. The music was great. I actually looked it up. I'm watching it. I need to own this record, and it's only digital. I'm not surprised. I mean, they're probably.
Oh, it's only digital? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to own those songs too. They were pretty entertaining. Yeah. And it was fun. And so the only other place we saw Cosmo, Cosmo the dog is in this. The only other place we saw Cosmo was in that's the end of Guardians of the Galaxy. No. Where did we see? Yeah, the end when we saw Howard the Duck.
The Collector had him, didn't he?
Yeah.
So that was what Guardians was that?
Yeah, exactly. Pat, what do you got? You know?
Yeah.
It's probably 2. I mean, it's probably Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
And then it was a post-credit scene.
Yeah, I think so.
Did you guys see there was a post-credit scene in this?
Was there?
Yes.
I'll tell you what. I'm trying to remember if I saw it or not. Valor gets on my nerves because he always wants to shut everything off as soon as the credits start to roll. And I always tell him, you should know by now not to do that.
Yeah.
But he just can't get over the bad habit he has.
Yeah, there's definitely a post-credit scene in this.
I might have seen it.
You guys want me to say what it was?
Yeah.
It wasn't big time or anything. It was just Groot. Rocket was dressing Groot up like a Christmas tree.
No, I missed it.
I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch.
He had him all decorated.
That's great.
That's great. That was pretty funny. What's up with Groot looking like the Hulk too? I mean,
well, he's a teenager. You know how they just
he's been working
all of a
out.
sudden they just bulk up and they're huge. It's like, holy cow.
Yeah, it kind of looked like they went with practical effects, like he's somebody in a suit almost. And he did look kind of awkward.
There was an overhead shot, I think, closer to the end when everybody's kind of just dancing around, and they look at him, and it's like, okay, come on, is this Japan 1958 Godzilla,
But if we talk about the Guardians 3 trailer,
hey, I have a joke. Don't ruin it. Don't say anything. Okay. You already did partially ruin it, but I'm gonna go with it anyway.
Edit that out, Kevin.
Okay. So anyway, so I thought the biggest thing that was interesting and extremely MCU canon affecting material in this was that the Guardians own Nowhere now.
Yeah, I don't remember it. Maybe they just took over once the Collector was booted,
Well, they actually said they purchased it. I think he used the word, he said he purchased it or they bought it or something like that. Okay. So, what?
Yeah, I missed that. I'll have to catch it when I watch it second time for that.
Yeah, so we'll see. I thought that was pretty big time, reveal in this, But anyway, speaking of this, of course, since I watched Guardians of the Galaxy, the holiday special, on my timeline, sure enough, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 came up again, but I wasn't going to be fooled. I knew this was fake, so I didn't even watch it.
Okay. I did watch it, and it seemed a little bit better than that trailer you showed.
You did it?
Back, Kevin. Yeah, I don't know. You have to catch it and see what you think.
Okay, obviously I'm joking, but that man, I was hoping to get that off before because I knew somebody was going to say so.
Is it real?
Yes, it's
Oh,
real.
okay. I haven't seen it, obviously.
You haven't?
No.
You got to. It's awesome.
Well, what I'm going to do is probably wait and get, the kids all sitting down and watching on the big TV.
So now I know what you were going to say, Patrick. So go ahead and say it.
Looking from this poster, he doesn't look the same, but I thought he looked similar to the way he did in the Christmas special.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well. The parts that they showed him in the trailer, he looked big, bulky as well. So apparently, maybe it's still the way you were saying it. They chose to go that way rather than the special effects or whatever for the holiday special. So then they realized, okay, we gotta have them this way in Volume 3 then, I guess. And just use the teenager excuse like Mike used, that he just bulked up out of nowhere.
Because they care about being consistent.
Yeah.
Rhodey from, Iron Man.
Yeah, everything keeps changing all the time anyway.
He looks different. Did he lose weight?
Yeah.
Is he shorter?
And then, of course, so anyway, yeah, this looks great in my opinion. It looks very sad. I think Ayla actually mentioned she knows she's going to have to cry like 5 or 6 times in this. The trailer seemed like it has a lot of big, epic, emotional moments. Is that what you got from Patrick?
Yeah, and everybody keeps, I'm not going to go into too many details, but I keep hearing things about certain characters not making it past this Volume 3. And from the trailer, you sort of get those vibes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Before I forget, I want to mention real quick. Don't you think they're going to put out a holiday special soundtrack, Mike?
Well, it's available digitally.
Oh, okay.
It's just I want it on vinyl.
Yeah.
And if I can't, then I'll probably just buy it, the digital version. But back to that, do we have the spoiler banner still?
Mm-hmm.
Because I want to talk about the holiday special, but it's spoiler worthy.
Okay.
I'm gonna plug my computer in here.
I like that they included an animated sequence to throw back to the Star Wars holiday special.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was good. Yeah.
And singing.
Oh, go ahead, Patrick.
I was to say, and a musical number or two.
Yeah, it's kind of so much better. These are much better.
When that started, the kids were like, "Wait, this is a cartoon?" I'm like, "No, wait, give it a minute." Okay, so spoiler alert for Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. Why was it Kevin Bacon and not David Hasselhoff?
That's exactly what Ayla asked me too. Here's my opinion on that.
Hasselhoff was busy.
Because I think Kevin Bacon is a much more well-respected actor that is in more stuff than and of course he was also mentioned when he asked Tom Holland if Footloose or if Kevin Bacon was still the best actor that ever lived, and Tom Holland was like, no, he never was. Never Spider-Man.
And I guess that was the whole dance off for the first Guardians movie. He was like,
yeah.
I see that, but
and actually Ayla pointed out to me, I didn't even think about it, but I guess he was more idol. He said he looked David Hasselhoff like a father, right? Yeah. Is that why you were asking that?
Well, yeah, it's just they're both actors
would have made more sense too.
Were big in there. And personally, I mean, I loved Knight Rider. Personally, I think that Kevin Bacon he's cooler to me than Hasselhoff. If you said, look, you personally in real life you can meet either Hasselhoff or Kevin Bacon, I'm going to meet Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Yeah.
Well, you couldn't meet David Hasselhoff because then you've got the 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon. You probably could have met him somehow through
Right.
that. All right, spoiler over.
You know, it would have been even better
Wait, spoiler back up.
if they had a scene where David Hasselhoff walked in and was like, "What? I thought you was your boy or something."
Yeah.
That would be great. But yeah, it was really interesting how they did all that. The only, and you know, this is all this suspending reality kind of things when we talk about that on occasion. The only thing I thought I liked when Drax threw her over the mantis over the gate, right? Yeah. And then later they're like jumping houses.
Yeah.
It's like
that's right.
They either should have made them jump the gate or not been jumping houses later, you know.
Or he could have just thrown her the house.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, I think we're all overall giving this thumbs up, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, and then well, we were actually weren't finished talking about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, which took me. Well, actually, I got a question. That kid is Adam Warlock, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Man, I don't know how that looks. I've said this many times about every time I see a superhero for the first time in live action, whatever, and it doesn't match. I'm like, I hope I'm wrong, but man, he didn't seem like a good fit for that. I don't know.
I didn't see it yet. I did see a picture of him. That makes more sense.
What do you think, Pat?
No real thoughts one way or the other. I noticed he looked like he had a soul gem or something, you know, and I don't think he had that when he came out of the cocoon previously. I don't know what's going on there, but
yeah. Okay, and then I went down a trailer. I think we all did, or at least definitely me and you, Pat. And actually, New York Mike didn't hook us up with the trailers that much this time. Maybe we just beat him to the punch. We were impatient.
Yeah, because you had posted the one, then I just sort of went down a rabbit hole, and I think we beat him to the punch.
Yeah. So the first one I posted was this.
Wow,
Transformers: Rise of the Beasts.
I didn't watch that yet.
I posted this for you, Mike, because
I saw the gorilla.
Yeah, it's got a big monkey. Yeah. And I am a huge Transformers sucker. It is one of my guilty pleasures. I like every one of them, you know, and for all the wrong reasons. You know, it's just totally ridiculous action, special effects in your face, sound effects. You know, everything about Transformers, I'm in. Man, I hate when I pick a picture that crosses the whole screen as opposed to just down the middle. Sorry about that.
Yeah, you never know until you throw it up there.
Yeah, exactly. And then this is the one I think you put up in our group, Pat. Right?
Yeah. Yep. The response to the Transformers. Yeah.
Yeah. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Man, I thought Indiana Jones were done. Every time I've seen Harrison Ford anywhere for the past 2 years, he seemed like he was having a problem walking. He was, you know, he was just getting up there in age. And here he is in the last thing I was expecting, you know, because I don't really pay attention to all these, you know, forums or preview places or whatever. And the last thing I was expecting was another Indiana Jones, but I am in.
I did not see this trailer either. I've been busy with the cover combat, so I didn't watch much.
Yeah, and Marvel Snap.
And Marvel Snap. Get me started.
But, man, it's great. I thought the trailer was great. And having what they showed with Harrison Ford and Indiana in there, I was amazed it was happening. I'm sure there's obviously stand-ins and, you know, all these, you know, stuntman and everything, you know, in there, which is probably how it was from the beginning anyway. But they pulled it off seamlessly, at least in the trailer for me. I was convinced he was doing all this crazy stuff. So I'm excited for that. And I think with that'll wrap it up for me. I know you mentioned in this, Pat, you didn't really care for the matching up soundtracks to explosions and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's like that gets old quick on me, I think. And it seems to be a really big thing right now where they time the action sequence to the soundtrack, and it's just like, okay, I get it.
I'm still in on that too.
I love those, especially if it's a Metallica song or something. Like, I think was it the Punisher trailer? The Netflix Punisher trailer? I think they had that was one of the best ones. Where it cued the music all queued up to what was happening.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. So.
Oh, and that happens in this trailer?
Yes.
Oh, I can't wait.
And I think it's a Metallica song.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say that doesn't fit. All right.
All right. Moving on then. Let me try to get back to where I need to be in this. I'm all out of like this week. Okay.
Oh, out of sorts.
All right. So the next thing is you're on deck here, Mike.
Okay.
All right. Let's do it.
All right. So the window is closed for profits. And
man, you figure at this point we'd have just had people that just want to abuse us for free books.
okay.
Come in here every week and guess.
Yep.
Like I have to say, if I wasn't on this show, I'd be watching it every week. But at the very least, I'd be checking in.
Yeah.
During the profits just to throw in a comment, guess at the beginning of the show. Yep. Anyway.
Yep. So our 10 covers this week were Star Wars Hidden Empire #2 by Paulo Siqueira. I know I'm butchering his name. Sorry. Next up, Thanos Death Notes #1, Daniel Acuna. I can't wait to read that. I actually ordered that book. Next up, Gotham City Year 1, 3B, Greg Smallwood. I know it's not review time. I read #1. I struggled with it. I really wanted to like it.
Oh, I can't wait to hear about it.
I'm not review. That's my review of it.
Oh, okay.
Because this is #3 already. That's how long ago #1 was. Next up, Archie Christmas Spectacular #1, Bill Galvin. I love Christmas covers. Next up, Dark Web #1, Bobby Hernandez, and that's the homage cover. And X-Men Red #9, John Boy Myers. Little Monsters #8, Dustin Wynn. And a little bit, Spawn right now is on, they're having these Spawn covers for everything. I think it's even crossing into Marvel and DC, or at least DC. But the interesting thing about this cover is that's Romy is the little kid there, kid vampire. All through the book, that's all he does with crayons and chalk is draw all over buildings and stuff. So it's kind of neat that
he's drawing Spawn.
He's drawing Spawn on there. And we have Blade Runner 2099 #1, Gargoyles by Sid Mead, Gargoyles #1, David Nakayama, and Immortal X-Men #9 by Phil Noto. Do you guys have anything about those you want to say before I reveal the winners?
No.
Okay. I struggled this week. I found 5. I think it was about 4 or 5. And then I'd say, okay, this is worst of the worst for me, or best of the worst for me. And one of the ones that one of the ones that I put up there, let me make sure I didn't mess this up. Yeah, okay. Was actually tied for third. It didn't make the tiebreaker, but I was like, holy cow, that's, Anyway,
okay.
I don't know where I'm going with it.
Okay.
So, in third place, we have Star Wars Hidden Empire #2. And
I feel like I'd appreciate that cover more if I knew what was going on. I don't know whose cape that is. You reading this, Pat? By
I
chance?
am not. Nope.
I got him, but I haven't read them yet.
Yeah, I like that one. That one was a shoe in for Mark. He's like, "Come on, Dad, Darth Vader." He voted for it.
It is cool. It is cool.
And in second place, Little Monsters, number 8.
I probably would have voted for this if I knew that was Spawn.
Yeah. Yeah, this really surprised me. I kind of, I put this one up because I like this book, and I thought it was a cool way that they worked Spawn into the book.
You know what I thought that was actually?
And I don't, an explosion?
A blood splatter. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah.
I thought someone like died right there, and that was a blood splatter.
Yep. And in first place,
Wow.
we have Gotham City Year One by Greg Smallwood.
That one really surprises me, but I mean, it's a cool cover, but it's just not very fun.
Well, yeah, it's
This is like a picture you'd put up in your grandma's house. I don't know.
Would you?
I mean, it's like a 1932, detective.
Well, it's Gotham Year One.
Yeah, I know. I know it's relevant to the content of the book. I'm just saying that's why this one surprised me. It seemed very bland. I don't know. I mean, literally, you take that red bat signal out of the middle there, and it's just an old-fashioned picture.
Well done. I mean, I didn't vote for this one, so
Everybody in my family voted for it.
yeah, I know.
So,
It's
except me.
holy cow. Yeah, my family voted for it too.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
why it's number 1.
So now that these are the top 3,
Mhm.
put them up again. I got things to say about it.
Okay. Number all 10?
Yeah, I didn't want to say anything until
Oh, okay.
it came out. So the gargoyles, are gargoyles making a comeback or something? Because they're like highlighted, I think, on Netflix or something too.
Yeah, they got a new line of action figures. They've got this new comic coming out. I think there's a specific group of fans out there that really love gargoyles, which I was never a big fan.
Yeah, me neither. Yeah,
I voted for this cover though.
I did. I voted for it too. I'm a big Nakayama fan. That's
I
for
think
sure.
you two were the only two that voted
Oh,
for this
really?
cover. Yeah. Yeah, Gargoyle's got 2 votes. You two.
Wow, I'm surprised. 'Cause I think it's a really well done cover, even though
Yeah,
I don't
it's
like
really
it.
good.
even though I don't like the subject matter.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm surprised Immortal didn't. I was totally thinking Immortal would be in the top 3 because my family voted for all that too, and I did too for the Immortal.
Yeah. Well, that was tied. There was a 3-way tie.
Well, that was a
But,
tie for
yeah.
third. Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, it was a
Yeah.
3-way tie for third.
Yeah. So we had Star Wars Hidden Empire, Little Monsters, or no, it was a tie for second, a 3-way tie for second.
Oh.
So one got dropped off, the other 2 were.
Oh.
Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah, and then that X-Men Red. I thought, man, if I would have been watching this show and predicting these books, I would have predicted Gargoyles, Immortal X-Men, and X-Men Red. I love that cover. Again, I don't know what's going on there, but man, that's awesome. It's the opposite of the Year One book.
Right.
The X-Men Red book is awesome. I mean, just as far as the content's concerned, art aside, the content and the action, it looks epic. And then Year One I don't know. I'm just.
Yeah, one will make you open the book, like, what's going on here? And the other one's like,
you want to hang on the wall, your grandma's, right?
oh, just-
Anyway, it's not a bad cover. I don't want to butcher it that bad.
the
My
Blade
biggest
Runner. Go ahead,
Go ahead. Oh, I was gonna say Valor picked that Blade Runner cover. He has no idea what Blade Runner is, and I can't believe he chose that cover. It's just like, what? Okay, whatever.
It got 3 votes.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
Seriously, that was the last
I
one.
need
put
a
on the
10th
list.
cover. Yeah, exactly.
I put that last. I was like, I mean, it's kind of neat because it's kind of a concept idea car thing. I like the red and black and white. Maybe. Yeah, I'm looking at Blade Runner. Okay, vote. Blade Runner, vote.
Wow. Who voted for it?
I have that sheet written down at home,
Okay.
but I think it was Valor, my Marcus. I don't remember
Who the third one
who the
was?
third one was.
What about Archie? How many votes did that get?
0.
Okay.
Everybody likes oh, look, Christmas. Nope.
Those are the two.
It was the only Christmas cover I can find, and I wanted to throw one in there.
And I figured Lexi would have voted for Dark Web, but she didn't vote for that either.
Yep.
Because that is a cool, that Dark Web cover is a cool cover too. I just don't think it's not done very well or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it's an homage to I can't remember. I think John Romita Jr. had done is it junior or senior?
Senior, I think.
Senior. Yeah. But his is better because this kind of has a more modern looking Spider-Man with this weird stuff on him. Yeah.
So anyway, interesting week. I mentioned you guys have made the comments that we're talking about now a few times in the past, but this was the first one where it was just like I was surprised to see a couple on there. But I know you got a tough job, and the fact that you pull it off as well as you do, as often as you do, kudos.
Well, thanks.
All right, now done beating up the covers. Let's beat up the inside.
Oh yeah, I'm excited for these reviews.
I'm excited to hear your reviews too. All right, here we go. Are like totally catchy for us now. Yeah. Hey Patrick, are all the tunes for all of our intros catchy for you and your family now?
I was just thinking about that recently, and I was. It seems like there's always, I can almost match up a real life world song to each of those little snippets.
Yeah,
it's kind of weird. Yeah,
it is. I can't exactly explain it too, and I mean obviously I did it, but. Honestly, when I was just making those videos, I was just like, I want to make sure I didn't have identical tracks, of course. But every time I picked a track, I was like, does this matches? I don't know, I guess. But now it's so funny. I couldn't change them for the world now because they just seem to match so perfectly to me now, So, and I was just telling Mike that I went up and picked up Mom and brought her down for Thanksgiving and then had to take her back afterwards and stuff. And the whole trip back and forth, we were listening to podcasts. I was listening when I was by myself, and then Mom indulged me and we were listening to them when she was with me too. And yeah, every time a tune came on, we're all like jamming and saying it. It was fun. So anyway. Oh,
hey, you're first.
I guess I'm first. Okay. And I thought I put that up. I must have accidentally taken that back down. Okay. This week, I read. I'm in the middle.
Are you ready?
Wildcats. Number 1. Full disclosure, I love the original Wildcats, but I know very little about them. I was a big fan of just the look, not really knowing too much of Grifter. Back when, and Wildcats was obviously originally an Image title. But I never got around to reading any of it. So I don't know anything about. Did you ever read any of these back in the day, Mike or Pat?
No.
Just maybe the first limited series back in the day.
Yeah. Well, this is a limited series too. Do you know how many issues this is going to be, Mike?
I don't. I'm not even paying attention to it.
Okay. So. But basically, not knowing anything about the original Wildcats, I was really excited to get to know, and this is why I picked this, to get to know the team and Grifter. Okay. And after reading this issue, I still know absolutely nothing about the team or Grifter.
It's about the 5 characters on the bottom.
No, nobody.
No.
Well, no, I take that back. The one character, I can't remember his name right now. In the middle, in the black suit, he's like this expendable android apparently, because he actually was killed, and they talked about how it was just. This is one example of what this issue is like, right? So they're going to try to get a scientist. Well, the first act of the book is it starts in the midst of a fight of trying to get a scientist. I don't know why. They end up killing him, or not they, more specifically, Grifter ends up killing him. And I think it was just because he annoyed him or something. It was very, it kind of broke my heart a little bit, because I've put Grifter in kind of, a real good box, I should say. Like he's kind of an anti-hero, maybe some Punisher where he will get evil, but I think overall Punisher's, got a good heart. He makes sure people deserve it before he blows their head off, that kind of thing. That's kind of where I put Grifter, and it doesn't seem to be that way. And then when that happens, then we see Grifter at a bar getting in a fight for really no purpose. And then somebody comes and tells him, hey, you're an idiot. You killed the scientist. We need another scientist. Go here and get the scientist. So then the third act of the book is them going to get another scientist. I won't spoil what happens at the end there, but literally it just dives right into a story. We have no idea why it's happening, and doesn't explain any backstory about any of these characters. Like I said, I've been a Grifter fan. I used to have a Grifter statue at the house.
I still do.
Yeah. Do you know anything about Grifter then?
Not really.
Okay. So we just really appreciated how he looked, and it was cool, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So I literally don't know what Grifter's abilities are. Like, he's got a gun and he shoots people, and he's got a wisecracking mouth, but he might just be a normal dude. Like, he's like Rorschach or something, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, what I was bringing up about the guy in the black suit at the bottom there's one part of the book where Grifter's like, okay, go out there, man. I got you covered. And he starts shooting his pistols. So this guy runs out, and he just gets completely mowed down by all this fire. And Grifter's like, ooh, sorry. And then he's like, mentions the guy, Moore is going to be mad about that. Like, I don't even know who Moore is, but he's like, Moore is going to be mad about that. And then sure enough, then he calls in the midst of battle. He's got an intercom, whatever kind of thing. It calls Moore and says, hey man, we're going to need another. And I can't remember what this character's name is, but he says whatever his character's name is. He's like, that's your fifth one in less than a month. You need to say, these aren't cheap, and so apparently he's an android of some type. And then actually the girl to the left is like this kind of a mix between Juggernaut and Colossus. And then
the skinny girl there,
the one in the pink to the left of the guy.
Oh, down at the bottom.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Huh. Juggernaut, you say, huh?
Yeah, she gets all solid and heavy and unstoppable.
Wow.
So, anyway, this book is there a rank lower than Forget It?
Oh my.
That would probably be Buy It.
Yeah, there is one. Hard pass, right? Hard pass.
Oh yeah. Hard pass. Yeah, hard pass. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't buy it and throw it away.
Ironically enough, I've already ordered the next two of this.
Yeah, we all know how that goes.
Yeah. So I'm still gonna probably check them out because it looks good. And do you guys know what cats? It's funny too. They kind of played with this, not explaining it again, but they just kind of what?
Covert action, tactical something or other, something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Tactics, I think it is the for the team. Squad, no, yeah, covert. What'd you say the A was?
I think I said action, but I have no idea.
It might be action. But yeah, it's squad. S is squad.
Covert Action Tactical Squad.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he
Somebody-
mentions in the book, Grifter, like one time he's like, man, we go on a lot of wild adventures. And then he mentions how the name Cats is a thing. And they don't actually call themselves Cats. It's like Cats V or something like that. It's weird. So it's like you're supposed to just contract that, I guess, to Wildcats. I don't know. It's like I said, this book is lost, in my opinion. This book is not done well. And you know, maybe someday I'll be able to review this better by having read the original Wildcats, you know, because like I said, not having read them, this could have been just like that too. But I would assume with the legs that the original Wildcats had and that this is back, it's obviously extremely popular. So, I mean, it was Jim Lee, right? Back in the day.
There's a Grifter miniseries too. I don't think Jim Lee.
Oh yeah.
or
Isn't there
did
an
that.
active Grifter title now? Miniseries?
There was.
There was recently.
Oh,
but,
okay.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Covert
I don't know if maybe I would have enjoyed this had I know about the history. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? You know how that goes, you know.
Yep.
But I feel like any number one of any book needs to have some backstory and explanation, even if it's just one page of just a bunch of words, you know.
Fill me in.
Yeah. So anyway, hard pass for me.
All right.
So hopefully
I got it.
Covert Action Teams. Yeah.
Oh, so the S is for the end of teams.
Okay, yeah.
I like it even less.
Well, notice there's no period after the S.
But there is after T.
So the S is just the multiplier.
Plural.
Whatever.
Oh. Yeah.
We got some spam in the chat if you guys want to get rid of that.
Yeah, I'm blocking it. Crazy.
Mhm.
Okay. Let me take this down. Man, I said it while we were setting this up, but it's going to screw me up being in the middle. Sure.
Oh, yeah, you are.
Stalling everything for me.
Yep. All right.
All right, Mike, you're on deck. Let's hear some exciting, awesome comic book adventure that
Great review.
everyone's going to love and go out and buy.
Okay. I read Doctor Strange Fall Sunrise #1. This is written by Tradmore, and the artwork is by Tradmore. He does everything, does the whole book. I got the Daniel Warren Johnson cover because that's better. I like Tradmore's artwork, but I absolutely love this cover. I think it's great. And you have to be a fan of Tradmore's art style. He's very stylized. I never really caught on to him until Silver Surfer Black, and I loved it. I thought it was great. And the artwork in here is fantastic. I think it fits Doctor Strange. And it's really, really great. So the artwork, A+. The story, what?
Okay.
I can't wait for issue #2. That's my review.
Okay.
So, yeah. So it's a definitely get for Tradmore's artwork if you're a fan of that. Other than that, it would be a hard pass because unless I'm not smart enough to get it.
So it's not a negative what per se. It's just you're confused what, and you're still gonna read issue
Yes.
2. Okay.
Yes,
gotcha.
I'm confused as to what happened in this story. If there was a story, I mean, I don't know. There is, but I didn't get it. But visually, I loved it. Every page was just awesome to look at.
Yeah, I didn't mention that about Wildcats too. The art was good. So
yeah. So yeah, see, he's walking. He met some animals.
wait, that's a page. Hold on, I'm gonna.
Yeah, that's a whole page right there. You looking at it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's walking through the woods. Crows, his face, his feet.
Mm-hmm.
Crows, trees with a noise. What's that? Sling.
Mm-hmm. And then right here, I don't.
Da, 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 da. What the heck? I'm confused on this page in the panel.
Yeah, but look how awesome it looks.
Yeah, I can see what you're talking about. You have to really know that guy and appreciate his art because
Yeah.
I'm not feeling that.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
He's a face cheater. Look at him.
A face cheater.
He just he shadowed out the face and everything.
Oh, there he did.
Oh, there he is on the bottom.
There he is. Yeah. Yeah, this is something like this is something that I would assume you would pass on, Kevin.
Okay.
I think Patrick's artistic taste, I think he would probably. I don't know if
Enjoy
we've
this
talked
one.
about it before. If you like Tradmore style or not.
Yeah, I had gotten some of his early stuff, that the Luther Strode series. He's even kind of gone further abstract as he got into Silver Surfer Black,
Mhm.
which I did not pick up. And I saw this and I was kind of on the fence, and ultimately I didn't get it. But there's a little bit of interest there for me. I don't know.
Yep.
So we got two. Well, we got to forget it and a hard pass. Unless you're just looking for the art,
Exactly.
because we all know art is awesome. We just want to have some fun with this book too, but we didn't have fun. All right, what you got, Pat?
Well, a few months back, Mike reviewed Snow Angels Volume 2, the first third. So I'm going to try to do the middle third and the last third.
Those are some great graphics. Nice.
I got the full scoop for you here.
Okay.
So, Mike, did you ever finish this?
I did.
Okay,
Yeah.
maybe you can help me with some questions I have.
Oh, it's been a while, but
Yeah, I know. So this is Snow Angels Volume 2, Jeff Lemire and Jock. When we last left off, to the two children, Millie and May, their father had been killed by the snowman, and they're left kind of on their own in this wasteland. They have a little device that's sort of a map, sort of an early warning trigger to show when there's threats and danger around. So they have that going for them out in the middle of nowhere, and they're kind of just searching for. They always were going to go north. That was their idea: go north and to wherever the Colden ones were. They're this mythological gods of this wherever they're from, which we'll get to in a minute here. That's sort of one of the points, where you're kind of in the middle of a mystery, and you kind of start thinking, is this a M. Night Shyamalan village type setup where they don't really know that there's current modern technology out there, and they're kind of left in this trench, and you sort of, that idea is kind of furthered along when you start to realize the snowman has technology on his side. He's not a beast, he's a man in some kind of a suit. And it kind of, you start to wonder, is that going to be the reveal here? Or Kevin's movie that he watched about the father and son in the cabin in the woods, where they twist it and you realize that that's not the case. Well, that isn't the case here either. And I think enough time has gone by. I mean, this was released digitally first, and Dark Horse released it in this trade paperback form. But the big reveal here is that May and her family were not on Earth. This is taking place at some unknown planet, some unknown moon. It's an expedition that was sent forth by Earth. They sent this group of scientists on this mission to gather resources for Earth. They put the crew into cryogenic freeze because the mission was taking 70 years to get to this planet, moon, whatever. And their mission was to gather resources, like I said, and they were supposed to send further missions and further support and bring them back to Earth. Something happened. This is where some of it gets a little confusing, because it looks like not all of the travelers were awakened from their cryogenic freeze, or maybe they died on the mission. They never really explain that, I don't think. But basically, you find out that the snowman. Okay, so let me back up just a little bit here. So the during the mission to gather the resources for Earth, the scientists uncovered what they're calling eggs. It's some form of alien life form in the frozen wasteland. And once the people back on planet Earth find out about these eggs, they tell them, stop gathering resources. We didn't tell you about this, but there's a lifeboat in your ship. Send back one of these eggs so we can determine what this is. And then for more unexplained reasons, they don't really say why. I don't think why the Earth travelers never complied to this request. So they ended up sending the snowman after this expedition to gather these eggs and find out what the heck's going on. Apparently in the smaller craft, I guess you assume that the snowman can travel at light speed and he can get there much quicker. Don't know. But so his mission is to find out what's going on, get these eggs, and apparently eliminate the scientists that didn't comply to the Earth's request to do what they wanted them to do. So that's the snowman that's been tracking these trench folk. And apparently one of the key things was this little tracking device, map device that Millie and May ended up with, because it seems as though the snowman doesn't know the location of the eggs. And I think this device was crucial. He needed this to actually find out where these eggs were. Anyway, he ends up tracking the girls down. And at the end, they're sort of saved. They're sort of, Mike touched on this in his review too. They took sort of I think unnecessary journey off, sort of like a tangent off with this extra group of settlers on this moon or planet, and that is still not clear to me if those were people from Earth or they are native to this planet, because they did speak a different language. But I don't think that tangent was really necessary to the story. It maybe, padded it out a little bit. I don't really think they needed that. But to get back to the main story, the snowman is about to capture the girls, and we find out that the Colden ones are real. Apparently they're the alien species on this planet, and they take care of the snowman and save Millie. And the whole thing wraps up. I will say there's some touches of pure Jeff Lemire in this book. He always, and it's not a bad thing, he always seems to fall back on relationships and parents and children, reaching out beyond time and space, beyond death, and they sort of, gain hope from their memories of their parents. And you see that again in this. I think it's a recurring theme in his work. But in the end, the story wraps up a little too neatly for me. And I should say also that they find out through a lost transmission on a spaceship. They find out all this information about the expedition, about the snowman. So that's how you kind of know some background. But the problem with that is they constantly, purposely cut out the transmission, so you don't know the full story. You're missing details. So that's why things are kind of left to your interpretation along the way. And it's still, after reading it, I still kind of question, did I miss something, or did, am I not understanding some things right? But overall, I think it was good. I think it did tie up a little too neatly. I don't think this is a story they would revisit. I think this is it. I don't really see a need to further this story, but
so is this an oversized book? I can't remember you guys.
Yeah, what it was published through Amazon's Comicology digitally, and then Dark Horse published it as 2 trade paperbacks.
Okay.
I would, again, as Mike and I have talked, we're both Jeff Lemire fans, and Jock fans. Although I have my same quarrels with this half of the volume 2. Sometimes Jock's storytelling leaves a bit to be desired on my part. Some things, there's some sequences where I think there's maybe too much of a shortcut was taken. You're kind of left scratching your head, like, how'd they get from point A to point B? But I did like this as a whole, as volume 1 and 2. Definitely, if you're a Jeff Lemire or a Jock fan, it's a get it. I think even is coming in cold, not knowing anything about either of these creators, I still think it's a get it. Although, like I said, I think it wrapped up a little too tidy for me.
So more specifically, to put you on the spot, would just like if you were just somebody getting one book and you just got volume 2, would that make sense to you? Like,
no, you would have to get both of them. It's one big story, yeah.
So to get it, if you get volume 1 and 2, got it.
Yeah, you have to read the whole thing, which was kind of my thing going out of volume 1. I said, I can't not read volume 2. I have to see how the story finishes. So they got me there, and I am not disappointed. I did like it. I just think there's some nitpicks, and the ending left a little bit to be desired, even though it was wrapped up and was I guess you would say a happy ending. It just too tidy for me, I think.
Well, I need to go back and reread it because some of the stuff you're saying, I was like, I didn't get that. But my habit is I read right before I go to bed, and I stop reading because I'm falling asleep.
Yeah,
I think I may have slept through a couple pages that I read.
And it's a very quick read too. You'll blow through it once you start reading it. Even if you go back and reread it, there's a lot of story there, but there's also a lot of artwork that you can just breeze right through, and it's a quick read.
Yep.
Sounds interesting. I'll have to borrow Mike's when he's done reading it a second time.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of borrowing, I mentioned a couple weeks ago that you can borrow my copy of The Crow when I'm done reading it.
Oh, yeah.
I can't find my reader copy. I've got the hardcover signed and numbered
I'll take that.
James O'Barr that I don't read. But I had a reader's copy. It's just the trade paperback that came out when the movie came out, and I can't find it.
Well, speaking of reader copy that I want to borrow from you, when I was up, again with my trip taking mom up and back, I actually would stay a night, so I didn't have to, turn and come back the same day. And I stayed both nights with Tyler, and both times I tried to get I Am Legend. And man, he was he wouldn't let me know where it was. He's like, I'm gonna read it. And I'm like, Tyler, you've had it for like 2 years. Just let me borrow it.
It's 161 pages, 181 pages, something like that.
So I'm gonna try to get it off of him again for Christmas when he comes down.
I'm just gonna go buy a used copy somewhere.
Well, I guess I should just buy it since how many copies you have? 3 or 2?
I think I have 3. Well, I have a hardcover book club edition, and then I lent my mom a copy as well, and so I rebought it. I lent that copy to Tyler, and then when I was up for the get together, it was sitting on my mom's thing. I'm like, "You done with that?" Because it had been long enough for me to rebuy it. And she goes, "Yeah, I'm done." So I took that one back. So
well, come to think of it, you should just buy another one, then let me borrow
it. Yeah. I keep buying them and read this. And I never get it back.
It'll be an inadvertent Christmas. Actually, let's not even play around. It's not inadvertent. Just get it for me for Christmas, please.
I also have the graphic novel, which is it's really good.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Who did that? Remember?
Yes, but I'm drawing a blank. 30 Days a Night. What's his name?
Steve Niles.
Steve Niles. Yep. And I don't recall the artist.
That's interesting.
Yep. And it's I think that it was individually published, but I have the hardcover.
Okay.
And it's called I Am Legend as well.
Yeah. Yep. So there you go. If you consume comics easier than you do novels, there you go.
So now Tyler wants that for Christmas, and I'll get his. That's what I'm going to buy, the graphic novel for Tyler, since he's a comic guy now. And I'll be like, hey, I'll trade you this.
Yeah.
Give me Mike's
Give me the book.
novel back. He'll be like, sweet, but he still won't read it.
Yeah, and the thing that annoyed me about I bought the copy that I had before the movie, and then, my mom had kept it, so I'm like, oh, I want to read it again. So I bought it again, and it had that big blurb on it. Now, a major motion picture. It's like, oh, I hate these.
Is the comic a straight adaptation?
Yeah, it's really well done.
Interesting.
All right. So Patrick, actually, we talked about this, since we're actually in the same room today. We talked about this before you were around. I don't think I mentioned it to you, though. So we have a unique topic of the week today. And do we want to do it before what?
Oh, no, he knows what it is. Everybody else does.
No, I know, but do we want to do it before?
Doesn't matter. Up to you.
Well, we actually got two unique topics of the week.
I don't remember the second one.
The second one is the one you're obsessed with that you weren't.
That's right.
You teased it at the beginning of the show.
That's right. Yeah.
All right, so let's do a unique. We'll do a unique, then a Pat, then a unique again.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Okay, so the first unique topic we actually talked about for a minute last or 2 weeks ago was Marvel Snap, the relatively new Marvel mobile game. But since I had mentioned it, Mike has played quite a bit, and then we found out right at the top of the show that Patrick's actually gave this a shot.
This is the number 4 game right now, I think, on probably like phone downloads or something like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So, Patrick, I want to hear your thoughts real quick. We hadn't talked. We were surprised to hear you had checked it out, so that's awesome. What do you think?
Well, probably the reason you're not surprised to find out that I checked it out is because I'm not the biggest card game fan.
Right.
I always feel like I'm behind the curve and I don't know what's going on, and that's sort of the way I feel about this. Is like I'm doing things. I think I've only lost one match, but I don't know how I'm doing things. It's like,
Gotcha.
How did I win? I know the basics of how you win, but I'm like, how am I beating all these people? I don't know. And then you get into, okay, let's just say, I think it's cool. I like how the artwork is. I like how you upgrade, but I don't like the thoughts of, like all phone games, I don't like the thoughts of paying to upgrade things and get advantages. So that's kind of where I'm at. Okay,
so just to respond to exactly what you just said. So all the upgrading is just cosmetic. It doesn't do anything as far as making your cards better.
Okay.
And everybody has the same cards. There's variants, so they'll just look different. And then some will be pretty, like the upgrades are frame breaks, the first one, where it actually brings the art out of the card. And then there's 3Ds, the second upgrade. So then it makes it, of course, 3D. And then there's what's it called?
Like
animated.
Animated, that's it.
Where it makes the background move behind their picture. So all those upgrades, it's totally cosmetic. It doesn't make the cards better. And I think that is one thing that is a big appeal to this game is, like you said, Pat, you can't really pay to win is, kind of the phrase people use usually. The only thing you can do with paying is upgrade quicker. And basically the way you unlock new cards is by upgrading. So it will improve the card pool you have. But the cool thing about this is you're going to be matched up against somebody that's at your level.
Yeah.
So when you get higher in your level, you may match up against some people that are lower in the next tier that might have a card or two you have, but in general, 98% of the cards you have are going to be the same, So
you're not playing anybody with Black Panther right out of the gate.
Yeah, exactly.
And I say that because I thought I had this match won, and the dude played Black Panther, and I'm like, oh, what does he do? He beats you is what he does.
So I think since you're lower level, and obviously Mike is pretty low level too, but I'm sure you're probably the lowest, Pat, is, like you said, everything's, how everything works, and you're probably beating these people because they're fresh off the boat too, so, it's not real complicated at first. Obviously you're a real smart guy. So, common sense does come into play with, like, sometimes I'll see people doing like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like immediately if someone does something ridiculous and I'm like, what are you doing? I just hit snap right away. Cause if you snap during the game, it doubles your benefit if you win. It also doubles your loss if you lose. So that's why you don't want to snap immediately, So, and actually, and then if both of you snap, it doubles twice. So if no one snaps, you end with the match being worth 2 in your, scaling up in levels. But if one of you snap, then it ends at 4. But if both of you snap, it ends at 8. So if you win that, you go up 8 levels. If you lose it, you go down 8. It's pretty. I love the design of this game.
I have never snapped. I've played probably 50 plus games.
You've never snapped?
I've never snapped.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think I tried it one time, but I feel like that's one of the things they don't walk you through at the beginning.
Yeah.
Right.
I knew it from watching a video,
Uh-huh.
but I was still, because I was so new, I was afraid. I didn't really know when I should do it.
Mm-hmm.
I just tried it once and it worked for me the one time, but it's not saying much.
I never snapped before like round 4. So, to cover this real quick for anybody who didn't hear me mention it a couple weeks ago. So this is a really simplistic, but with a lot of strategy card game where basically there's 3 zones on the map and everybody has 10 card decks, but it's one-on-one. Each player has 10 card decks, and in those and out of those 10 cards, to start the game, you draw 4, or you have 3, and then on your turn 1, you draw a 4th one. So basically, you start turn 1 with 4. And the zones, the 3 zones that are on the map, all have different abilities that affect the game as well. Like if you play a card here, give it +1. If you play a card here, move it to another zone. It does all this craziness. And the way you win the game is by whoever has the most power at least 2 of the 3 zones. You win 2 of the 3 zones, you win. Because all the cards have power, they have a cost, and they have ability. And it's only 6 rounds. So it's a real quick game. And in turn 1, you get 1 power, and turn 2, 2 power, and so on and so forth. But me and Tyler were talking a lot about how it's very thematic with the cards' abilities. It'll match the characters that the cards are, of course, like Wolverine, if he gets destroyed, his card will immediately come back, and
like the Hulkbuster is actually armor that when you play it, it goes onto another card in that zone.
Yeah.
And it ups the, it adds the powers together.
Yeah.
So then you can only have 4 cards per zone.
Yeah.
So basically you're able to get double cards there. It's kind
you can kind of get you can get a 5th card there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of synergy between, and that's part of the strategy that you said, each zone has a certain thing, but then how the cards play off of each other and things like that. It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
So
I have like 8.
I like the fact that it's so short. That's one of the strong selling points for me.
Yeah, I think that's the big thing that attracted all of us. Yeah.
Because I don't for years, the guys, everybody, even my son, put this game on your phone, and I'd never put games on my phone. Kevin showed this one to me, and I'm like, okay, maybe. And then last week he said, we're going to talk about it. Like, I'm definitely going to try it. And holy cow, I love it.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, and it's very fast. Yeah. And I haven't. Well, no, I take that back. I did buy the battle pass, but just because if I find myself playing a game a lot that's free to play, I do feel like okay, they deserve this,
Mhm.
So I threw $10 at it, and that's well worth it too, because you get all kinds of extra perks. Again, just cosmetic with the battle pass.
So I've seen let's just say Hulk. I've seen Hulk drawn by different artists. That's the same card. Just
it's the same exact card, and you can only have one in your deck. So if you want Hulk in your deck and you've got the regular Hulk and then 2 variants, you can only pick one, and it's not like you have 3 Hulks in your deck either. Yeah.
Okay.
Once you select one, the other 2 become unavailable for you to choose. So yeah, it's really good stuff. It was interesting too with we were talking about Cosmo earlier in Guardians of the Galaxy. Cosmo didn't cross my mind at all, and I totally forgot about him being in the post credits of the movie until Snap, because Cosmo's in Snap, and he basically stops any on reveal effects in the game in whatever zone he's in. So he's a pretty sick card, and I really like that card a lot, and I have him in a couple of my decks. And then all of a sudden, whenever he came on the holiday special, everybody's like, "Oh, Cosmo's in here." I'm like, "Cosmo's in there?" So it's pretty cool.
Because there are 3 different types of cards. There's a card that it has no effects; it basically just the power. And then there's on reveal. So whenever it's flipped over, there's an action that takes place one time, and then there's an ongoing that, as long as that card is on the board, that effect continually happens.
Yeah.
And like Cosmo does is, what does he do? He stops the ongoing,
the on reveal from happening, right? Yep.
Oh, the on reveal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's some of the strategy, that you have that card and you see somebody play, you can counter their stuff and all that. So it's definitely a fun game. And as you play it, you enjoy it more and more, because you start to learn your deck,
the nuances.
Yeah, you start to learn, okay, when I play this card, this happens, and this card helps that card. And once you start, stacking those, this is like Max when we play Magic. Max and Tyler, I mean, Kevin's really good at it as well, but I think Max and Tyler take it to a level that where they really use the cards with each other so well.
Yeah, and sometimes you were mentioning what they don't cover exactly happens in the intro or whatever, Pat. You saw it in a video. A lot of the time, I don't know something happens until it happens to me. And somebody does something like, "Wait a second," because that's what I like too. After the game's over, if you don't leave, you can hit every card and read all the cards.
No, okay.
Exactly why it happened to you like that,
Yeah, I look at my opponent's cards all the time. It's like, how did that work? And I'll tap it and it'll turn it up so you can read it.
Yeah,
I've had some big things happen to me. I'm like, what's he? Holy cow! And then you see it happen. It's like, that is awesome. I lose, but I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna beat everybody with that.
right. So anyway, it's great to hear you've given it a look, Pat. Let us know if you end up playing it more, because actually me and Ty and Mike made essentially a Marvel Snapchat.
Pretty much. Holy cow. We're always like, look at this screen.
Yeah, we're all like sharing the screenshot. Check out this game.
Yeah.
Hey, Pat, you won't even be able to fathom this, but Tyler sent me a pic, and he lost one of the zones 3,028 to 10. So he sent me a picture of it. He's like, "Oh, you're gonna have to help me with the math on this one." I was like, I was like, "Geez, I need to check that out." I'm like, I literally spent like 10 minutes figuring out how the heck it got to 3,028. But yeah, this dude beat one zone 3,028 points.
That was nuts, and that's why I brought up Black Panther, because it was the first time I had seen everybody play it against me, and it threw it up, and he doubled, and then I think that zone sent a duplicate of that card to another zone, and then that doubled, and because I thought I had the game won, I'm like, this is one.
Yeah.
And so he was like 40 and 40, and man.
Yeah, it was great.
Yep.
It's great. I actually mentioned that to Ty too. I'm like, what we need to do? You know what the idea I came up with almost right away with this, and I hope they do it.
A tabletop version.
Exactly. I'm like, I need to print off these cards, because that's the only thing that is lacking, I guess, depending on perspective with this game, is you can't directly, like I can't challenge Mike. It's just a random queue when you select to play it, pick somebody for you. So I was thinking it'd be cool if they did have a, one section where I could just challenge Mike,
Yep.
But they don't have that. So I'm like, I need to print out all these cards so we can play on the table. And as soon as I told Tyler, like, he's like, I don't know. That's a lot of math. And I'm like, I got it. It
is a lot of math.
So my family kind of considers me the math guy. So I'm like, I'm down for it. But put that on my list of other 500,000 ideas and things I got to do. So anyway.
I would just like a set of the cards. Not necessary to play, because like Patrick was saying, the artwork is so great.
Yeah, it is. It's great art. I don't like the 8-bit digital ones.
I was going to say, yeah, they're so expensive on there as far as not real dollars and cents, but I think to the stuff you earn.
Oh, to upgrade them.
Upgrade to those. I'm never going to waste my money upgrading to an 8-bit.
Yeah.
That's a downgrade to me.
Yeah.
I should get credit somewhere for using a downgraded one.
So anyway, that's it. Marvel Snap, our first. We're actually going to have two. Excuse me. We're going to have two unique topics today, and that was the first one. So, Pat, are you ready? It's your turn. Good to go.
Yeah.
Here we go. All right. Did you just play another game while that video was playing?
I was going to play another quick game.
All right, here we go.
Okay. There hasn't been much happening. I think sort of Black Friday, the sales kind of took all the news for the last couple of weeks, and there were some good deals. And in fact, one I missed out on that I really could kick myself was the if you remember me talking about the movie Realization Star Wars, where they take like samurai versions of the Star Wars characters.
Mm-hmm.
And who was it? Entertainment Earth had a sale on the Mandalorian Grogu set, and it was only $69. I think it's regularly like $140. I missed out on it by a couple hours. I think I was kind of bummed, but so our old friends, the Long Box Heroes. I thought this was really cool. And if you have a chance, if you follow Toy Otter, Jason Geyer on Instagram or wherever, he posted a 3D, or not a 3D, just a video. I couldn't figure out a way to get it on here, of a 360 view of the paint master of the Goon Long Box Hero figure. And I think he looks really, really good.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I think much better than the prototype digital renders that they initially showed when they put them up for pre-order. Especially if you see it, the video of it, I'm really impressed. So that's something to look forward to. Those are, sometime next fall, those will be coming out, but he's showing regular updates. So it's kind of neat to see the progress. Although you can see this is a paint master. You can see how it's supposed to end up. But if you view the video, you can see a few like dimples in the plastic that'll be fixed, in when the production runs go up, like you see the little dots on his shoulders and things like that. They'll fix that. There's a Los Angeles Comic-Con this weekend, and they showed Boo Berry in the Jada Monster cereal line. So far, only Count Chocula and Frankenberry had been released. Now everyone wondered, there's some weird thing with the Boo Berry license. I'm not sure what it is. And people weren't sure if they were going to do any more of these, and it appears now they are. I wanted to get these figures. I still have never broken down and picked them up. I always wondered, are they going to complete the line? If they show a Fruit Brute soon, I'll probably go all in on this line, but so far I haven't.
Where'd you say we could get them?
They just announced this. They'll be everywhere eventually.
Oh, okay.
This is the first reveal. He's sort of tiny though compared to the other. There's not much going on compared to the other two figures. You know, there's a lot of I think there was extra heads and hands and things that go with Count Chocula and Frankenberry, but you know, Boo Berry is a kind of a small figure here, so I'm not sure what they can do with him. But if you want the
those
whole
are cool though. I would definitely be down for getting those as well. A lot of history with some.
Now I'm hungry.
Frankenberry, Chocula.
Yeah.
I think the only time of year those are out now is Halloween, right?
I think so. Yeah.
But it used to be year round when we were kids, right?
Yeah, for the main ones, you know, and
it might be still, but around that time they kind of put them on the end caps and everything like that. So
you might be right. Yeah.
I'm gonna start paying attention. I never.
Yeah, Fruit Brute was out this year, but it's not. He's not the cereals. Forget
the werewolf one, right?
Yeah. It's nothing like the original used to be, but we're here to talk about figures, not cereal, I guess.
Yeah.
I think this was announced 2 weeks ago, and it's a 60th anniversary X-Men villains box set. Comes with these 5 figures. And if you know, you probably know Strife, but that might be the end of the line where you know who they are. So here it's random Vertigo. I guess she's pretty well known.
Yeah.
Pretty Boy and Zero. Some lesser known.
So Marvel. Zero, this is so funny. All this comes back around to make sense. Zero is in Marvel Snap, and before I saw him in Marvel Snap, I had no idea who he was either.
Yeah.
If I ever did, I forgot, of course, you know.
So let's celebrate 60 years of the X-Men with villains that, I mean,
yeah, why not actually make them really cool X-Men figures?
Well, I've seen. I didn't show them here today because they haven't been formally announced. But there is there's an X-Men set coming too. But they're sort of like, if you remember, you know, when Jim Lee was doing the book, you know, prior to X-Men #1, when they had gone back to the black and yellow costumes, everyone was in the black and yellow.
Uh-huh.
It's a set based on those figures.
Mm.
But they haven't been released yet or announced yet, so I didn't show them here.
Incidentally, Zero has an interesting ability in Snap.
I haven't seen him yet.
He takes away the ability of the next character you want to play, which is an interesting ability. And at face value, you're thinking, "Oh, that sucks." But then, you know, a lot of abilities punish you for power. Like if you put out a card like Typhoid Mary is a 10 power card. If you put her out, her ability actually inhibits the rest of everyone else because she's so powerful. So if you play Zero prior to playing Typhoid Mary, you don't get the negative. You know, it just makes Typhoid Mary awesome. More Snap. Okay, hey, sorry, I didn't mean to hijack your
I'm not that far. I don't have Typhoid Mary. I haven't seen.
She's awesome. I just got her. Anyway, okay. On with the collectibles.
Yeah.
Sorry, Pat.
Yeah, some more 40th anniversary Return of the Jedi figures, Star Wars Black Series 6-inch figures. You know, the Emperor, Chewie. Is that Wicket? I think. I can't see, so small. And
no, Pablo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they keep they're trying to do more of the 40th anniversary. And then Kevin mentioned this a few weeks ago. I wanted to revisit it because I think it's an interesting topic. And it sort of you know, does your mind play tricks on you? Do you remember things better than you thought you did? You know, because they announced the vintage or the retro series collection, Luke Skywalker, Jedi, and Kevin was questioning some of the, you know,
cloth,
the cloth cape, the lightsaber, so forth. Yeah. Well, here is the vintage.
Exactly.
He's pretty close.
Yeah. Well, no. Look, no. Yes. No. Yeah. That's. It's gray versus brown.
Yeah, the color is different. Yeah.
The lightsaber is something that I was remembering different too. But it looks like the lightsaber is the same.
Lightsaber and the blaster both look the same.
Oh yeah, and the blaster's gray too. Where do you see a gray blaster?
Right.
No, that's real dark. That's borderline
Dark gray.
Black. That's borderline black. But look at the other one; it's light gray.
It's light gray.
See,
There they are in their packaging, the retro, the original. 97 cents, I think, there, Toys R Us on clearance. And these will cost you like $12, I think. These
Wait,
retro
97 cents. You know how many of those I had when I was a kid? 0.
Yeah, this was when they hit that clearance cycle after the life cycle of Jedi had kind of come to the end there, and you could pick them up pretty cheap. I wish I would have.
I never even got any discounted ones.
go back to the new one, please. Okay, the old one.
That big retro thing really takes away from the card art.
Yeah, a lot of people don't like that.
And the card's all banged up on the retro too.
I think that's the point. Yeah,
I know.
This
was definitely one of my favorite figures too, though. Actually,
but it's one of those things that Kevin, mentioned it. It's like they're so close. Do you just buy the retro and relive your memories without forking out hundreds of dollars, or however some of these go for?
Yeah. Okay. Now I see your tease. Got it. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
See.
Yep.
It was part that, is it, do you buy retro, and part, does your mind play tricks on you? Do you remember? Everyone does that. They remember things differently from their childhood, I think.
With that, the Mandela effect or whatever.
Yeah.
It's so much better when I was a kid, that first one. Yeah.
Well, here's the other thing too, is if I pay $4 for a figure and, praying for grandkids, the grandkids come over and they want to play with my stuff, it's all good.
Yeah.
But if I fork out the real money for a, original, that's just getting put in a box to look at. So, there's that too, so.
Yep. That's it. That's it for Horizon. Like I said, there wasn't much.
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't many new announcements this week. Even though we're covering 2 weeks, I think everyone was so hyped on Black Friday and getting their sales out there that they didn't really announce too much.
Yeah. Gotcha. All right, still good though.
Yep.
I thought the retro reference was going to have to do with that goon, that faux retro or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, that looked awesome. Okay, so then we wanted to talk. We wanted to throw in a bonus, unique topic of the week, right?
Yep.
All right. So no need for a another intro on this.
I was waiting. You're laughing on my screen, like.
Okay. Huh?
Nothing. Continue. I'm just gonna play Snap.
Get a bowl of Count Chocula and play Snap.
Right.
Yeah. I actually like Frankenberry better. Well,
Yeah, they're pretty equal to me. Depends what you're in the mood for, but Frankenberry and Blueberry taste the same anyway. Anyway, all right. So how you want to do this, Mike? You're in charge. First of all, what are we doing?
Let me see if I have the date on here. I don't think I do. After 13 months, our CBCS order has been returned. 5 books graded. Were there 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it took 13 months. The next one we're waiting for, we submitted it October 29th, 2021. There's another 5-book order.
Yes.
So we're waiting for that. And then we had a March 2nd 2-book order and a May 13th 2-book order. So we still have 9 books. And then we stopped. We haven't sent anything in. Everything's so it just takes so long,
Yeah.
So basically we have 5 books to reveal today that we got back from CBCS.
I'm excited.
Yep. So I'd say let's mute us for a second while I take this bubble wrap off. And
Okay.
then we're going to go back and forth and reveal the books. Unfortunately, I know the grades because I check all the time to see if it's shipped. And I clicked on it. It's like, oh, what are these? Oh, geez. It's one of those, you just dove in. What are these numbers? Oh, geez. I know all the grades now.
You know what I'm going to do rather than muting us and just leaving Patrick just hanging out on the screen by himself without saying anything? why don't we go ahead and do the intro again? That'll
okay.
give you a second. All right, here we go. All right, we're ready.
Oh, okay. They're each in their own bag.
Oh, okay, cool.
All right.
Okay, cool.
And Kevin, you don't know what's going on here.
I don't. Yeah, this is.
Okay, I can read. I'll read the title because I can see the title here.
Okay, and then I get the pleasure of showing since I'm here too. But
Okay. Oh
you want to do the first one?
no, I want to do the first one last.
Oh, you want to do the first one last? Okay, got it.
Okay. Oh. All right, we'll start with this one. This is, you can do this one. This is, you want me to tell you the title?
Yeah.
Okay. G.I. Joe issue number 21, third printing.
Haha.
And just so
Nice.
everybody knows, there's another copy of this, same exact book, being graded right now with Larry Hama's signature on it.
Nice.
Verified. Or not verified, but witnessed.
Gotcha. Ready?
Yep.
Boom.
9.4.
Wow.
9.4. Nice.
I like that.
And this is one of the Falls Church books.
Yeah.
We picked these up from a gentleman he had a box, he had a plastic tub.
He has like 3 black plastic tubs.
Yeah, he had a bunch of plastic tubs, but they were just loose, no bags and boards, laying in the tub, all cattywampus all on each other and everything. This came back in 9.4.
9.4.
Nice.
That's a beautiful book. I love that book.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that it had later printings, honestly.
Yep. It's how you can tell the third printing is the black Spider-Man in the corner.
Okay.
I think the first printing has just the traditional Spider-Man. I don't recall what the second printing has, but the third printing is the black Spider-Man.
This is the first appearance of Storm Shadow, obviously, but first G.I. Joe silent story.
It's the silent. Yeah, there's no. Turn it over in the back, see if it has the notes
Oh, yeah.
for greater. Oh no, I think we have to go online.
Oh, for
Yeah.
Grader's notes, yeah.
They used to put them
have
on
them on there, yeah.
there. Okay. Well, actually, you can do all the reveals. I'll just read them. Okay, this is Superman 423.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the last issue. This is by Alan Moore. Now this is I can't remember if this is part 1 or part 2. With Action Comics 583, it continues one way or the other. I can't remember. Go ahead.
8.5.
That's harsh.
8.5.
8.5.
Last issue becomes Adventures of Superman, Lex Luthor, Prankster, and Bizarro cover and appearance.
I did not.
What year is this? 86.
Yeah, I did not think that was going to come back. Look on the back. I think on the back there's some foxing or something like that, or some color. I looked at the grader or the notes. Anyway.
Yeah, it looks great.
Yeah. So, oh well, 8.5. Hold that up again. Let me see that. Yeah, that's a great book.
Yeah, still a really cool
Yep.
book.
All right, next up.
I love these covers anyway too, where they always got a lot of what's going on in this issue on the cover. Yeah.
Yeah, the different panels and stuff. Okay. Now I sent these two in on purpose to kind of these next two. You'll see. This first one is Uncanny X-Men 221. First appearance of Mr. Sinister.
Another 9.4.
Yeah.
Nice. That's a great cover.
Yep.
First appearance of Mr. Sinister and Marauder's appearance. Yeah.
Here we go.
Nice book.
All right. And of course, to go with that one, we've got Uncanny X-Men 222.
Oh man!
Oh,
wait.
There's a receipt in it. There we go. 9.2. Yep.
This might already be sold. That wasn't so broke. If no one buys this before not broke anymore, it's probably going to sell.
Yeah.
Love this book.
Yep.
Anyway.
All right. So finally, we've got the second part, or the companion to the Superman book, Action Comics 583 and a 9.8.
9.8.
Which I love it. And I think that came from the Falls Church collection as well.
It's insane.
Yeah. I'm so excited for that one.
Wow.
Death of Crypto and Mr. Mixapplic appearance. That is a great cover too.
Yep.
Yeah, that's nuts.
I'm looking at that going, that might be sold.
Yeah, in a tub, unbagged and boarded for who knows how long.
Yeah, very
And put it
good.
back in 9.8. It's nuts, right?
And I was so mad at when the Superman 423, when I saw it was an 8.5. Because when I sent them in, I didn't think it was an 8.5. I was like, dang it. So I thought, you know what? It probably would have been better if I had sent my copy in. Because I'm like, I think my copy is pretty nice. So I went and looked at both of my copies of these. And yeah, my 583 is beautiful. It would probably be a 588 or a 9.8. But my 423, yeah, it's trash. It's probably a 7. Like, how did I think that mine was? So it made me feel better that I didn't have an option. And, that if mine was better,
Yeah,
I
if
could
yours
have
was better,
traded
you'd really regret it. Yeah.
to get a set of 9.8s for that is what I
Yeah.
was shooting for. But yeah, that was exciting. Our first batch back makes me want to send more in, and so we can do this again next year.
Well, yeah, consistency's tough.
Yep.
When you got a bunch of kids and full-time jobs, and
Yeah. But yeah, we've got 5 books, and then 2 books, and then 2 more books.
yeah, we definitely need to get some more out.
And those are just for Xcellar. We both have. Well, I know I have personal books out.
Yeah,
still.
me too.
You
Well,
still-
I don't have any personal books out right now, but
Yeah,
I wanted to go to Fairfax
Mhm.
to do that, but then we didn't end up going to Fairfax because what's his name wasn't there.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's awesome. It's exciting, like you said. And when I watch all these other comic shows and stuff, and they're opening up like 4 boxes with like 30 graded books in there, it's nuts.
I got 40 books back from CGC today.
Yeah. You think about the money just to get them graded, regardless of what's in the book.
Yeah.
I mean, what's in the box. Yeah.
Yep.
All right, so that'll do it.
Mm-hmm. I'm missing a piece of paper.
Have you all been taking notes?
I did. I actually have a few what's it called?
Notes? Oh,
Johnny, the recap.
all right, I'm excited to see them.
What?
I wasn't watching. I was looking
Yeah.
at the notes.
Yeah.
I accidentally hit comic book reviews. I'm like, oh, and then I accidentally hit Pat's. And I'm like, oh. All right, we're pros here. Here we go. Oh, we didn't even mention that. Or when are these going to be ready to be listed?
I don't know. We'll have to talk about it.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll have to sort it out soon.
Okay, so we can tell people soon these will be available
Yeah.
on eBay.
Yeah.
You're like, it's all up to you if you get on eBay again. Hey, I'm officially having to be more focused on eBay. Did anybody check out my show on Friday?
I didn't get a chance.
No, I was working late, and then we had company over all weekend.
I didn't have a good show, but I put it on myself because I didn't do any shows last. I had them listed, and then I moved last week, but then I'm dumb because it was Thanksgiving, so I just moved them to this week. And then I changed the time again. I don't know why I just need to make them late. Because I want to make them earlier because I'm like, if I end up staying on a long time, it won't be too late. But then I end up starting them late anyway. So I'm going to blame myself for the bad show I had. Well, who else is there to blame? But I mean, more specifically, I'm going to say it's because I have no consistency yet. Once I get that, I like the format of the show. So I'm going to stick with that. What I did was 2 books for $2 starts. Because as I've talked before, dollar books, if they sell for $1, you literally lose money. It literally costs you to send a book to somebody. So I at least start with $2. We don't really make any money at $2 either, but at least it ain't nothing. And then the hopes, obviously, as the people in my room grow, then they'll actually bid up. The ones I did sell last week just sold for the $2, which, like I said, it ain't nothing, but it was pretty close.
Yeah. It's close to nothing.
Yeah. So anyway, so I guess I'm starting with the recap this week.
You're first.
Andor is still more amazing rebellion action. Give me more. Give me more.
This is not your granddad's Willow.
As far as Cover Combat 2 goes, I hope you have your hand sanitizer handy because there's an art germ overload.
Nice. Teenagers bulk up suddenly.
I'm gonna piggyback on Patrick's. Art Germ has a 16.67% chance of winning Cover Combat 2.
Nice.
I did the math. Really, that's real math.
I believe you.
Look for Gotham City Tales on your grandma's wall coming soon.
Nice. The new Wildcats doesn't hold a candle to the old Wildcats.
As far as you know.
As far as I know.
Marvel Snap. Play it. You will be you'll be flipping cards in your sleep because I was.
Nice.
Friday night.
That's sort of like that old Tetris effect where you stop playing Tetris and you keep seeing everything moving in your vision. Yeah. I had both of mine sort of piggyback. I was going to say, forget cartoons Saturday morning. It's Cereal and Snap.
Nice. Cereal and Snap. Nice. I love it. Do not lose hope if you find a comic in a bin, unbagged and boarded, under a bunch of other old comics, that it can't come back in 9.8 because we proved it today.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yep. That's all. I don't have any more.
I don't have anything else either.
Okay, I just wanted to finish. This isn't anymore with the recap, but I did want to finish with. I did get the Korn CDs that I told you I was going to get.
Oh, nice.
I actually got the single because it does have the one picture on it, which is just a zoom in of the other picture. And then I got the album as well.
Yeah.
So I got both. Interestingly enough, though, the only place I could find it was in Germany. There was 10 of them on eBay, but all of them were from Germany. So I literally ordered them. How many shows ago was that? Like 3 or 4 shows, and we skipped a couple weeks too. So it was like 2 months ago.
Yeah, it was a few weeks.
You did that, right? I think it was.
Yeah, a few weeks.
6 weeks at least.
I don't think it was 6 weeks.
Well, whatever it was. Okay. It's been a while. I literally ordered them right after the show, like I said. and I've been planning on showing them when they came in, but they came in this past week finally from Germany.
Wow.
So I've got both of those. I'll have to remember to have those for the show next time too.
Sweet. All right.
All right. So that was a lot of fun. So close it up with some reminders. Please like and comment on this video, as well as subscribe and hit the bell to get the notifications every time we post. Please subscribe to Comics and Collectibles in the Crawl Space on Anchor by Spotify or many other podcast providers, and listen to the edited podcast of this live stream on Spotify. They'll be posted no later than today or tomorrow. Where's my phone? You see my phone somewhere?
Right there.
Actually, I'm going to interrupt my reminders. This is something else I wanted to tell you about that this is shocking. I want to tell you this, Pat, too. Okay. So I got my yearly wrap up from Spotify, right? And it's completely surprising. So I think, you know how I've always talked the podcast down a little bit, like I'm not getting any participation in it, right? I think I'm wrong. Check it. So first it just says, we created, this is interesting to probably just to us, but we've created 4,881 minutes of content this year.
Wow.
Yeah. That's 98% more than other shows created in our bracket, which is, you know, we're not like with you know, Mr. Beast or
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
we're in the leisure category. So it's 98% of other creators in the leisure category. We created more content. Okay, so that was pretty cool. And then the countries that our show is listening to. Oh, wait, no, that's give me a trivia question real quick. What episode grabbed the most listeners' attention? I'll give you the options. Season 2, episode 14, Obi-Wan. Season 2, episode 3, No One Has the Same Priorities. Or episode 2, Getting to Know Mike and Kevin.
I mean, I'm going to go with the key word, Obi-Wan.
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing.
Yeah, you're right.
It would have been cool if it was Mike and Kevin, but
All right, and then our podcast loves to travel. This is one of the biggest ones that was shocking to me. Once I hit it, it got to load up real quick. We were heard in 6 countries. Our top 3 countries were the United States, Singapore, and Australia.
hello, mates. I think I just
You
lost.
just unsubscribed.
Yeah, like click. That's such a stereotypical thing to say.
So, like I said, first of all, this one to me was like, what? Because I would have guessed every listener to our podcast was in the United States, first of all, right?
Yeah.
So the fact that there's 6 countries, that means there's at least 5 other. So I'm obviously wrong about what I've said, you know. Something magical happened between January 23rd and January 29th of this year. We had 124% more listeners compared to the average week that week.
Is that the Batman show?
I can't remember. Probably. And then whoever said sharing is caring is right about your show. You ready for this?
Okay.
Patrick's like, I don't believe this, Chris. It's right here, Pat. Your podcast was in the top 25% most shared globally.
Really? We're famous.
Seriously, it says it right there, Pat. I'm not lying to you.
No, it's weird because there is that niche market that only listens to podcasts, but that part about sharing is surprising. But
I thought from what I could see, we were only getting like 1-2 listens a show, which I knew I was one.
Yeah.
And Mom, I figured was the other one or something. I don't know. are what are comics and collectibles in the crawl space listeners like?
I hope comics. Loading
Yeah.
quickly.
Our listener popularity type is, or personality type is the devotee. When they listen to our podcast, they really listen. They're quick to support new releases and play the favorite episodes over and over again.
All right, that's cool.
Yeah. So it's going to give me a stat on that. Okay, this is shocking too. Are you ready?
You're looking
because when did they sorry.
Honestly, it doesn't matter. You guys were worried about that a little bit. It doesn't. It looks like you're looking at the camera.
Yeah. Oh, we are? Okay,
Yeah.
good. This was surprising because when we started, when we had the most, as far as if you asked me, the guy that looks at the stats regularly, as far as what thought I could see on my laptop, the best stats we ever had for the podcast was before the live stream started, which was 2021, right? We had a 68% of our listeners discovered us in 2022. So almost 70% of who listens to us didn't even start listening to us till this year.
This year, yeah.
This is crazy, right?
It is. It is.
It's surprising and crazy and awesome at the same time, right?
Yep.
Right.
Okay, here's another surprising one, because if you would ask me, I literally would have thought no one besides you and Mike participated in any poll.
Did you point to Patrick like this? You?
I said you
Right here.
participated in any poll, right? I had created 50 polls, and the listeners joined those polls 37 times.
So, I mean, I voted on a few.
Like 3. And Pat, how many times you vote? 2?
Yeah, it's been a while too. You know, once we started doing video, you know.
Yeah. Okay, here you go. Our this says, have we been working out? Our podcast saw a lot of game this year. We're up 660% in hours, 370% of streaming, 80% in followers, and we're up 35% in overall listeners.
That's all good.
It is all good.
But it means you have to keep working on that podcast.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, it's like you can't just say that's not really working.
Well, I've never, you guys should listen and tell me whether I should make changes. We are the top 10 podcast for 15 fans. We're the top 5 podcast for 17 fans. And we're the number 1 podcast for 7 fans. I'm sure that's us in the family, right? Yeah. That one's not so surprising.
Well, it's definitely not me because I haven't voted on anything.
No, that's just for listening to it.
Oh, for listening.
You're like, it's definitely still not me. I haven't listened. And then it thanks us for sharing our podcast to the world. So thank you from Spotify to both of y'all. You've been doing a great job. I'm sorry I forgot to mention that before my closing to everybody who commented on something. Oh, Karen says, see, we should believe in ourselves more. And we're awesome. Thank you, Karen.
Thanks, Karen.
I appreciate that. We appreciate that so much. Okay, now back.
All right, that's it.
So as you can tell, we're awesome. So please subscribe to Comics and Collectibles. Oh, I already said that one. And then follow Xcellar Comics on Facebook, Instagram, and or Twitter, and follow Xcellar_comics on Whatnot and TikTok. Watch our shows on the Whatnot app at Xcellar_comics on Fridays and sometimes Saturdays. You can bookmark a Friday show that is currently listed now. And bookmarks definitely are extremely motivating for me. So please go to the show and bookmark it. It's going to help me be on time, and I'm going to be on time this week, definitely. Then also check out what we have to offer on eBay at Xcellar_comics and XcellarComics.com, and we'll be getting these CBCS. I almost said CGC. Graded copies up soon. And then lastly, what?
The Cover Combat 2 is up on the Facebook page for voting. So
Nice.
How'd you do that?
I did it while Kevin was doing his movie.
Yeah, I need to think about that more, about what I can be accomplishing while you guys are working.
Yeah.
But I like to, like I said, if I wasn't on the show, I'd be watching. I like just watching you guys so much, So anyway, so then lastly, watch the next live stream of this show on Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Eastern Standard Time, and we should have no reason not to be here next week, right?
That's the plan. Yep.
Everybody's good. All right, awesome. Thank you so much for everybody being here, checking us out. Again, please like, subscribe, hit the bell. And until next time, don't forget that appreciating great art is awesome and reading a great story is fun. So why not pick up a comic book and do both? Xcellar out.